Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the finest World of Tanks replays. And today, we've got a brand new hero and a battle that will absolutely keep you glued to the screen. The countdown hits 0, the map loads in, and immediately the engines roar to life. Our hero in the PTV-51 storms forward alongside his steel companions. Light tanks dart across the flanks like caffeinated squirrels, while the heavy StuGs lumber their way toward the city blocks. At first, it all looks standard. But trust me, it won't stay that way for long. Within seconds, red silhouettes pop up in the distance. The enemy team thinks they're rolling safely into position. Oh, how wrong they are. The PTV-51 calmly takes aim, squeezes the trigger, and boom! The first clean shot lands, HP shaved right off a poor enemy heavy who didn't even know what hit him. Meanwhile, the allied EBR is tearing around the map at breakneck speed, throwing out vision like a disco ball at midnight. The Reds panic, start firing wildly, but their shells smack into dirt and buildings instead of steel. Another shot connects from our hero, punishing the confused heavies who can't figure out where the pain is coming from. And that's just the opening act. Barely 2 minutes in, the damage counter is already ticking upward like it's payday. Enemies are bleeding hit points all over the place, and the PTV-51 is just getting warmed up. The city fight escalates into pure chaos. Enemy StuG Es and heavies push aggressively through the streets, thinking they've cornered our commander. But the PTV-51 responds with surgical precision. The first shell slams into the exposed side of a StuG E 100, tearing away over 1,000 hit points in an instant. Without hesitation, the autoloader keeps spitting fire, shredding armor plate by plate. Flames burst across the enemy line as another shot rips through, and suddenly the StuG E is left clinging to life. But the enemies aren't silent either. A FlakMaus returns fire, landing a punishing blow. Sparks fly, armor screams, but our hero refuses to back down. Reload cycle completed. The PTV-51 swings the turret, punishes the FlakMaus with a devastating counterstrike, and keeps pressing forward. In less than half a minute, the tide of the fight shifts. What looked like a dangerous push by the enemy turns into a bloodbath under the relentless firepower of our commander. The battle rages on, and our commander refuses to give up his foothold. Still holding the line, the PTV-51 carefully watches the streets, waiting for the next victim. The pressure is real. Artillery is circling above, threatening to erase him with a single strike. Our hero lines up the shot, ready to finish the job. But before he can pull the trigger, Allied artillery slams down with divine justice, wiping the thunderclap clean off the map. One less problem to worry about. Then comes the chaos. An enemy EBR-40 darts across the field, trying to play the hero. Bad idea. The PTV-51 locks in, unleashes a full magazine, and turns that speedy scout into a burning wreck. Another frag, another chunk of damage. The scoreboard now screams 7,714 damage. And here's the kicker. This isn't even the halfway point. Around the corner looms a StuG E 100, a true armored beast. But even beasts bleed. One burst tears off nearly 1,000 hit points. A brutal reminder that size means nothing against raw firepower. The StuG E rumbles forward, clearly furious, trying to crush the nimble PTV-51 under sheer weight. But agility wins the day. Our hero swings wide, flanking around like a wolf circling prey. Another clip unloads straight into the StuG E's rear. At this point, you can almost hear the enemy player uninstalling the game out of pure frustration. Another giant falls, another victory for our unstoppable commander. But the battle isn't over yet. Out of nowhere, the twin brother of our hero's tank, the same model, the same firepower, sneaks up and unloads his entire magazine straight into our commander's rear. Before he can finish, the twin escapes, only to be replaced in the crosshairs by another monster, the FlakMaus. One devastating burst tears off 1,200 horsepower, but it isn't quite enough to finish the job. Low on shells, our commander retreats to reload, but fate isn't done with him yet. The twin brother reappears, hot on his tail. Against all odds, the PTV-51 slips away again, refusing to surrender. Moments later, destiny calls. The two twins collide head-on in a brutal duel. Another rival eliminated. The numbers are insane. 14,564 damage dealt, 664 HP remaining. Only 3 enemy tanks remain standing. But within moments, that number shrinks to 2. Relentless as ever, our commander pushes forward, adding another 1,177 to the scoreboard. His health, however, is hanging by a thread. One more hit could end it all. And then, disaster strikes. An enemy artillery piece appears from the shadows. Our commander refuses to back down. He fires first, tearing away 700 HP. But the return shot is merciless. A blinding explosion and the screen fades to black. The hero falls. Final result, 16,655 damage dealt. A number so outrageous it almost defies belief. One player, one tank, single-handedly dishing out as much destruction as the rest of his team combined. This wasn't just a battle. This was a masterclass. Precision, bravery, and pure carnage. A replay that will be remembered for a long, long time.